Bonjour à tous. C'est avec un immense plaisir que j'ouvre le forum Vente sur la croissance verte et le développement durable, axé autour du thème protéger les capitales naturels, résilience, gestion des risques et Covid-19. Au vu des conséquences de la pandémie sur nos sociétés, mais aussi sur ce qu'elle dit de l'état de notre écosystème, ce forum est aussi opportun qu'il est crucial. Natural capital, including the biodiversity on which our societies depend, is central to many economic activities and livelihoods, from agricultural, forestry, fisheries, pharmaceuticals, tourism. Ecosystem services such as crop pollination, water purification, flood protection, carbon sequestration are worth $140 trillion per year. Now that's about 1.5 times the global GDP, just to put it in context. Protecting natural capital is not only key to protecting our economies, it is also critical for preventing future pandemics. We know these facts, we know the evidence, yet global natural capital stocks continue to deteriorate. 1/4 of animal and plant species are facing extinction. On land, deforestation continues, with over 70% of terrestrial land degraded. Ocean-based natural resources are increasingly affected by overexploitation, overfishing, by pollution and the waste that we're dumping in the oceans, and climate change impacts. We can take no detours, no shortcuts. Countries must integrate biodiversity considerations into their COVID-19 response and recovery plans. Building back better is our core policy objective. An OECD analysis shows that while good examples of green recovery measures exist, others remain neutral or harmful to biodiversity. Some countries have even rolled back environmental regulations or bailed out companies with a heavy biodiversity footprint without any environmental conditionalities. So there's the support, but without asking for any reciprocity on the environmental side. Others have introduced subsidies potentially harmful to biodiversity. So it's almost the opposite of what we want to achieve. Now, biodiversity loss and climate change are challenges of a similar magnitude and urgency. They're fundamentally interlinked. They must be addressed together. Nature-based solutions, such as protecting and restoring forests, can facilitate climate change mitigation, but also climate change adaptation, which deals with, the damage that has already been done. And it can do so by decreasing the risks of landslides, floods, also by acting as a carbon sink. Wetlands regulate water flows. They prevent coastal flooding. And they also reduce damage from storm surges and erosion. Now, let me highlight two priorities to safeguard our natural capital. First, we must mainstream considerations for nature into economic incentives and into regulatory frameworks. For example, integrated land use and marine spatial planning can help prevent biodiversity loss by reducing the conversion of biodiversity-rich areas and by minimizing the negative impacts of production activities. Moreover, we must ensure that growth in the food sector is geared towards the preservation of natural capital and resilience. Reorienting environmentally harmful agricultural subsidies, such as those provided to support intensive livestock production, towards targeted payments that preserve natural resources and that preserve the environment would help significantly. Furthermore, better policies for fisheries monitoring, for fisheries sustainable management would improve the quality and durability of the ocean ecosystems. This would increase fisheries productivity while also tackling illegal and unsustainable fishing practices. Second, investment and financing decisions should better reflect natural capital considerations. Some countries are elaborating frameworks to identify green and sustainable investments, but we need consistent criteria and we need definitions. OECD's work on developing sustainable finance definitions and the taxonomies has highlighted similarities across national systems, underlining how these could provide a basis for a common global framework. So the ingredients are there to build it, to put it together. The OECD FAO guidance for responsible agricultural supply chains helps agribusiness and investors address risks to people and to the planet in global agricultural supply chains. It also helps them integrate biodiversity considerations into their business decisions. Our work on FDI qualities aims to maximize the impact of FDI on sustainable development, including firms' carbon footprints through their actions on climate change mitigation and access to sustainable energy. So, dear friends, the world is facing the most severe social, health, economic crisis since World War II. While managing the crisis and laying the groundwork for a resilient, green, and inclusive recovery, we must take immediate action to prevent further natural capital degradation. COP15, the Convention on Biological Diversity, which is happening next year in China, is a critical juncture to commit to this action. Let's not miss out on this unique opportunity to identify concrete ways to transform our relationship with nature and to transform it for the better, to develop, design, deliver better environmental policies for better lives. Thank you.